Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I'm Cody. Like always, with me is Elijah. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm sorry, guys. I know if you watch this, I already know I'm going to hear it from my grandfather probably because I know Cody heard it the last time he did this. Is I'm not wearing any Orioles stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's been a busy night, you know.
You got a Pizza Planet shirt on? Is that what you were wearing?
I sure do, yeah. Toy Story.
Love it.
I had a busy night, you know, a lot of homework. I found out that I had to have a 90-page play read by tomorrow morning at 8:15 at 3 o'clock today. So.
Oh, did you get it done?
I have 3 pages left.
Oh, yeah, it's done.
Yeah, so it's pretty much. I know that it's a mystery, and I found out who the killer is. So, like, at that point, what else do you need?
It's not a mystery anymore.
Exactly.
It's not a mystery. Sure. Yeah, so did you get into anything over the weekend or
Yeah, I was visiting my girlfriend up in Gettysburg, so, you know, up to you, down to me, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Everyone knows where Gettysburg is.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, most people.
Yeah,
did you know the address?
Did I know the address? So funny.
Gettysburg address.
Yeah, I think I understood. That was
so. No,
that is so stupid.
That was such a dad joke. That was.
Yes, it was.
I'm a nerd. All right, moving on. Something doesn't sound as nerdish. Just we get into a little bit of non-Orioles news here. My big one is I like college football, and Texas Longhorns, my favorite team, they crushed the Michigan Wolverines, and that was fun. At least one of my teams won.
Two teams did good
two
this
of my
weekend.
teams, my NFL team, which is your NFL team.
Oh yeah.
Which, don't let us lose your follow, guys. But our favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys. And before you start saying anything, just remember we've struggled most of our lives. Like we didn't really live very much during
because
during the heyday.
I've never seen us win anything. And the thing that I always say is people always try to ask me. So I go to school in Pennsylvania where it's plenty of Eagles fans, and their biggest thing is, how are you a Cowboys fan from Delaware? How does that make sense? Like, I don't know if this outsider is like, well, my dad and my uncle are, and my grandfather's a Commanders fan, so I'm assuming it was just they didn't want to be that.
Just spite. Just out of spite.
That's pretty much what I tell people.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the best I got for you. I don't know.
It does. It's been awesome. I mean, you know, it feels like fall around here. I'm sure it feels like fall where you are.
Yeah, it's definitely getting chillier.
Yeah, you got that. It's football's starting, and then you're starting to get down to the nitty gritty in our baseball season, huh?
Sadly.
You know. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I'm about done with this year. This has been a stressful year as an Orioles fan. I mean,
it sure has.
One cool thing is that happened is Gunnar Henderson. Big week this week. I know you're going to talk about him later, but he breaks the shortstop home run record for the Orioles, so that was pretty great.
Yeah, broke Miguel Tejada and Cal Ripken Jr.'s record.
Yeah, so pretty awesome. You got any fun? You love to have your little trivia and stuff here. Do you got anything good?
Sure.
For me today?
Actually, it's involving Gunnar Henderson. Not really, but I went off. So Gunnar Henderson, he had the tied them, broke the record. Obviously, he's got 36 home runs now in the season, and he actually had 3 this week, and he was the player of the week for the American League, along with Kyle Schwarber for the National League. Right. And he was 10 for 24, which is a .417 batting average, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, a double, 3 walks, 6 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, had an .833 slugging percentage, which is really good, an insane OPS, 1.297. I mean, had a really great week. Not much you can say. So, I didn't. When would you have to make a guess at this isn't the trivia question. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
When was Player of the Week a thing? When was the first time that was a thing?
Oh,
you're gonna be surprised.
I'm gonna say 2008.
1974.
I was close. Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, actually,
I don't remember growing up ever hearing about Player of the Week, but
I'm sure this is probably something they went back and did, or something. I don't know how they did this. But there's some great names looking through here. Nolan Ryan, Jim Catt, Fergie Jenkins.
Okay.
That was me counting backwards in 1974. Nolan Ryan was the last person that got Player of the Week. And moving back up, 4th to last Player of the Week. It's actually the same week that we just got out of, the week of September 6th, 1974.
Okay.
Who was the first Baltimore Oriole to win Player of the Week?
1974? Oh, I probably have no idea.
You know who this player is.
Okay. Can I get a position?
Pitcher.
Jim Palmer.
No.
Oh,
He won a Cy Young for us.
God, I don't know. I don't know who.
Mike Cuellar. His
Who?
last name is spelled Cuellar.
Okay.
I know who he is, and you should know. Kueller is how it looks like his last name is spelled.
Okay.
You definitely should know who this is.
Oh, I'm sure I should.
I honestly, I wanted to spell out the last name for you there because I didn't know that's how his last name was pronounced until I looked at his baseball reference page to figure out what year and his stats for this year.
Right.
The year he won it, he actually he led baseball in win-loss percentage as a pitcher with 22 wins and 10 losses.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, he was All-Star that year, 6th in Cy Young votes, which just tell me about the state of baseball. 6th in Cy Young,
Right.
10th in MVP. I want to know what MVP voting looked like that year if you're 6th in Cy Young and 10th in MVP.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's just, yeah. So I figured it'd be interesting. The next Oriole to win it after that was Lee May. I've never heard of him before.
I have heard of Lee May. Yeah.
All the Don Baylor, Ken Singleton. A lot of people wanted that next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when the Orioles were really good. But yeah, I figured, I was like, you know what? When I was looking at this, I was thinking, like that, it's gonna be like Mike Messina or something.
Yeah.
Someone I didn't expect 1974 to be when it happened, but it like kept scrolling on the page.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would be a bigger name than that. Does that sound bad? Yeah.
Well, you also got to think player of the week. I mean,
that's true. People get hot, right? People get hot.
Exactly. I mean, here's to prove it. Let me just go look at this year's player of the weeks. Josh Naylor was a player of the week. Jose Miranda was a player of the week one time. Tyler O'Neill, Bowden Francis. Like these are people that in 20 years, who is Reese Hines, Cody?
Oh yeah, it's Reese Hines. Yeah, he's stud. You know what I mean? Just a stud. So talking about not getting hot,
I don't want to talk about this.
We can jump into our Orioles here. I do want to point a couple things out before I jump in too deep. I'm just looking up here. What's your Orioles heyday? Can you give me like what year when you think of amazing Orioles teams? What year would you jump to?
2014.
Okay, I agree. Do you know what our record was that year?
I know. I don't believe we had 9. I don't think we were above 92 wins.
96 actually.
Oh, really? Okay, I did.
96.
I thought it was that we didn't have as much that year. Okay,
yeah, 96. Here's a crazy thing is 96 wins is not that far. We're not getting 96 this year, right?
We could.
It's not
possible.
It's yeah, but it's not that far ahead. I mean, what are we at? 83? 81? I can't remember.
We're at 82 right now.
82 wins. So, before we jump in and we talk about look at some box scores with everybody, I'm just going to try to keep everybody from jumping off the bridge here and tell you that it's kind of like one of those things where it just seems like we just keep getting hit with negativity, which deservingly so. But it's one of those things where it seems like we lose 2 and win 1. You know what I mean? Which is keeping us there. We're not really going to those 7-game losing streaks. You know what I mean? 5, 7-game losing streaks like the Royals just got over. So that's one of those things where, So I still think it's easy to look at this and really feel down in the dumps about everything. But it could definitely be a lot worse.
100%.
You know what I mean? So but anyway, I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking anything away or, making any excuses. I just want to, before I get into the box scores, is just hit that. Now, let's jump into the box scores. So we're going to go to the last series, which is the Tampa Bay Rays series, which was on September 6th. Shoot, my throat. September 6th. The big story here, obviously, was that Cal Ripken Jr. was the splash guy for this game. The other big thing is that's the game we won over the weekend. We win 2-0 off a stellar performance of Dean Kremer. Came back, pitched 6 innings. He went into the 7th. He was doing great. He actually, big news here. So he goes into the 6th. He's still on a no-no through most of this game. But through 6, he gives up 2 hits, walks 3, strikes out 7. Now, the big news in this game was when he came out, He came out in the 7th inning, and there were bases loaded with no outs. Okay, and then Cano comes in and gets out of the game, strikes out the two to get the first and second out, and the next guy pops out to get out of the inning. Pretty awesome for him to be able to do that. Kramer pitches great. Like I said, I kind of understand why Haig left him in there because his pitch count was so low because he was throwing, like I say, he was on a no going through it. I mean, he goes through the 7th, gets into the 7th inning, and then, like I said, gives up the bases loaded. Yeah. He still only threw 88 pitches in the whole game, so didn't even get to 90 pitches. So Hyde was trying to, let him stay out there. Love that. Henderson hits his 36th home run in this game. The annoying part for me is we only get 4 hits. We face Shane Baz, who's good, but we don't, like I said, we only get 4 hits. And then the other issue I see in this game is we have 3 errors. It's just the errors just seem to be piling up on us right now on a team that last year we really, did great with.
Yeah.
So, but super frustrating there. And then we'll jump on to Saturday, where game 2, Eflin's pitching, which I really thought like that was a gimme win. Like I was, when I see Zach Eflin on the mound, I feel like we've got a pretty good chance to win. And we just never got anything going. It seemed like we lose this game 7-1. Pepio pitches for the Rays, who's actually pretty decent. I mean, he was 7-6 going in this game. He wins the game, so he was 8-6. But Eflin goes 5 2/3, gives up 3 earned. The big thing though is the 8 hits, and only the 4 strikeouts. Gives up 2 home runs. Gives up 2 home runs. Gregory Soto comes in, gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, and then Kimbrel comes in, does what Kimbrel does, also gives up another run. But super frustrating. Mullins hits a home run in this game. Just, I don't know. I mean, just not a great game. It's sort of like, that's like the story of how the season's going. That game is. You know what I mean?
For real.
Just not many hits. Pitchers can't do what we need them to do. And then to finish the series out Sunday, we have Corbin Burns on the mound against the Rays, who are a beatable team. And we've been playing well against the Rays this year. And then we lose to the Rays. Burns gets the loss. He moves him to 13-8. Not much happening here. He goes 6 innings, gives up 2 earned. Like I said, you should win. I get it. Burns is going to give up 2 earned almost every time he goes out there. We've talked about this, but you need to be able to score by 2 runs. I mean, the thing I'm nervous about is he only strikes out 3, walks 2. And then the other thing is we did have 5 hits. Most of them came in after most of them came in the later part of the game. But not much happening, man. Not much happening.
No, not at all.
It's one of those things where it's just not a lot to get excited about. If you want to have somebody to get excited about, it will be Gunnar Henderson. He wins Player of the Week last week. But other than that, I mean, what you got? You got any positivity for me?
You know what? The closest thing I could find of positivity during all of what you said.
Yeah.
You were talking about errors and said, this season it seems like there's a lot more errors. So far, we've only had 4 more errors this season than last year.
Does that
make you feel better?
The whole year of last year, though.
It's only like 15 more games, 17 more games, something like that. I mean, what if our defense just saw? See, this is really where you see the problem at. And you have Gunnar Henderson has 23 errors this year. James McCann and Westberg have 7, and then like Arias has 6. That's kind of where it goes. You were last year. We only had 2 people above 6.
Really,
Mateo and Henderson. So it's like, that's completely off of all the games, but that's because I don't want to talk about us losing that much. Like we did bad, and I kind of want to just move on.
Yeah, and then
I don't know what else to say.
No, I get it. And the other issue right now is the Orioles lose Monday night to the Red Sox, so that's just another loss to begin.
Hey, what was the score of that one too, Cody?
It's 10-3, 10-3. But
I'm pretty sure. Did it
finalize? It was
12-3.
12-3. I'm sorry. My computer didn't update. 12-3. So that's another frustrating one. K. Povich pitch. I never feel like we have a chance when he's starting. He's 2-8 now. He comes in and he pitches 4 2/3, gives up 4 earned, 2 home runs, strikes out 5. I know everybody was loving how he pitched the other day. He pitched against the White Sox, worst team in baseball history. Then Burt Smith, I don't know what's going on with him. He's lost his touch.
The Burt Smith experience is over.
Gives up 4. You know what other experience is over? Kimbrel comes in and pitches an inning, gives up 2 earned. Cole Irvin comes in, pitches an inning, gives up 2 earned. I'm just so done. I'm so done with Kimbrel. I
don't know why he's still on the team.
I don't know.
If literally any other player on our team does that bad, they're not on the team anymore.
It's crazy. And then you're using Cole Irvin as a like a position player pitcher. I mean,
and you know what? This is also what makes me mad with this game. If you're down, what was it? By the time Kimbrel came in, we were down by 8+ runs. Just send in Irvin for the last 2 innings. No matter how much runs he gives up, he can just do like. Yeah.
The one of the frustrating parts I had with this game was, in the first inning, we score 1, but then we have bases loaded, 1 out. Base loaded, 1 out. Adley Rutschman, man on first, second, 1 out. Adley Rutschman hits a base hit to the right field. We hold up Santander at third base. So now we have base loaded, 1 out. Okay, then Jimenez comes in and strikes out. Cowser comes in. They throw a change up like they always do to Cowser, and he strikes out. That's how they get out of the inning. Just very frustrating. I mean, you have just a pop fly, literally anything. When you see like the good teams right now, when you see them get base loaded, 1 out, they're getting 1. They're gonna pop 1 up. We're gonna hit a pop fly to left field, score 1.
Yeah,
it's just so frustrating. God, it's frustrating. But so we had 6 hits in this game. Red Sox have 15. We had another error. Henderson made the error. Of course he did. So is that his 20? This is 24, but he only had 24 errors on the season.
No, he must have, because the thing that I was looking at was 23.
24 errors. That's ridiculous.
I mean, remember when he went through the 2 or 3 week stretch? And he at least had 10 that week.
God,
that's what hurts him.
That's crazy. 24 errors on the season. That's a lot. God, that's crazy. So I guess if you want a bright spot here, Henderson went 2 for 5. I mean,
if you want a bright spot, he's third in errors in baseball.
Who? Henderson?
Yeah.
Who's first?
O'Neill Cruz and Ellie De La Cruz are first and second, which makes sense because they're
all young
gods. Well, they're also 15 feet tall and don't know how to use their body.
Yeah. But yeah, so Santander did hit a home run here. That's his 40th of the year. But man, so like I said, but you can hear me kind of getting frustrated, but I'm gonna, like I said, we're not out of this. Thank God. The one thing I want to talk about, since we were talking about Adley Rutschman, though, one thing I've learned from this past week is that Adley is not back. I don't know. What do you think? Is this a bad season? Is he overhyped? What's going on?
I don't think he's overhyped. I think it's definitely, it's been a bad year. And this is, I think, the problem too, is that he's still an above average catcher offensively and defensively. He's not what he's supposed to be, but he is still playable. He's not Adley Rutschman this year. And the only thing that does scare me is that since coming up, his rookie year was really good. Really good. Should have won Rookie of the Year, but he had J-Rod and win it, but he was also just amazing.
Yeah.
And then last year he was good. He was very good, but not as good as he was the year before. And this year he's even worse. It's a slow decline. And the thing I'm getting worried at is that as great of a catcher as he is in certain statistics, he's not great in like framing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
As good as he is as a catcher, his stats his batting stats when DHing are so much better than catching. I don't know if it's that with the amount of injuries to the pitching staff or something, it's putting stress on him with play calling and getting behind the plate. It's so much extra work that it's hurting his plate when he's up at the plate.
Right.
I don't know. I've never been a catcher. I don't know how that feels. He's not struggled with it before, but I mean, he's also probably not called as many different pitchers before this year.
True.
It's one of those things that do we need to re-sign James McCann at the end of the year, which I think we should do anyway, and have Basayo come up whenever he's ready, obviously, and then have 3 catchers. So maybe Adley catches once or twice a week, and James McCann's catching most of the games, and it's kind of more James McCann is platooning with Basayo, and Adley's DHing more. Is that what's going to have to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Which if that happens, that screws up everything. What do you do with Kerstad?
right.
What do you do with Santander? What do you do with O'Hearn and Mountcastle? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I am a little nervous, and this is a serious thing that people will disagree with me on. I'm nervous that he's going to be a Matt Wieters. That's what I'm nervous about. I remember back when Matt Wieters was a decent catcher. He was, he's a starter. He was an MLB starter. That's what Matt Wieters was.
He was an all-star for multiple years.
Yeah, Matt Wieters was not a offensive juggernaut. He batted seventh.
Yeah.
So that's like what I'm saying though is I think when he came out of college and we drafted him, I think they thought he was going to be what Gunnar Henderson is right now.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So maybe that when I say overhyped, I think that's what I think. I think he is overhyped. Was overhyped. I think that doesn't mean I think he's a bust. I do not think.
Yeah.
I think he's our starter catcher. I think he's our starting catcher for the next 6 years. I think he'll go through hot streaks. I think he'll go through cold streaks. But don't make. I don't want people to think that I think he's trash. That's not true at all. I just think that he's not gonna be the cleanup hitting catcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which that's fine. I mean, we just got to know that and be okay with that.
And I think obviously I don't think you could be right. I mean, I don't want you to, but you definitely could
agree.
be.
I don't want to be right.
No, I know you don't want to be right either.
Yeah, I don't want to be right.
And it's just a thing that this very well could be just an off year, because even if you look at last year, like last year he was not great last year, and I'll be the first to say that. He was probably still the best catcher in baseball, and he wasn't. We don't think he was at his potential last year.
Right.
That's how good he was though. But it's his numbers this year. I mean, his batting average has gone down from last year. His on-base percentage, slug, everything's gone down.
Right.
And I don't know why that is. I there's got to be a reason. I'd have to assume there's a reason.
I think it's just people are learning him. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's definitely the case. I think people see that a lot of time. Maybe you have, like, people call it like your sophomore slumps.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't do. I guess looking at his stats, he did do kind of as well as he did his first year, and that maybe that's unfair of me to think that he needed more.
Yeah.
And if he can play like he did last year, he is still at an elite position like catcher, would be one of the better catchers in baseball. He doesn't need to be. I don't even need him to be that. We just need him. I mean, obviously, he needs to be a starting catcher, which I'm okay with. And that's why I'm saying I think next year you could maybe see him play less catcher. I think if Basayo comes up, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if they prefer Basayo. If it's more, maybe they're just waiting for Basayo to come up and it's like a 50-50 split catching.
Yeah. So
because that's kind of what McCann's almost done this year too. More like later in the year. So
Basayo has been crushing it in the minors this year. Here's my only problem. So Basayo this year, I'm just going to talk about. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, this year. Okay. So he has 18 home runs in Double-A, or 16 home runs in Double-A, and then 4 home runs in Triple-A. No, 16 and 2. So 16 home runs in Double-A, 2 in Triple-A. So his power's there. That's legit. Here's the issue: is since being in Triple-A, he's hit 44 times. He's at bats, 44 at bats, and he's batting a 159. But I will say in Double-A, he was batting a 289. Really kind of makes me nervous when you see that, because we already see our guys that are batting like a 500 in Triple-A come up and struggle.
Okay, and I'll also we definitely see people struggle sometimes, and this is where you have to remember, Triple-A is harder than Double-A. That's why it's there.
Yep.
And it's also when's his birthday?
Hey, he's young.
He is less than he's 20 currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 20 last month. He is less than a year older than me.
Yeah, but
he's very young.
Same age as Jackson Holliday. Yep.
And that's not me knocking Sammy Basayo. That's also, I mean, that's giving credit to Jackson Holliday, but Basayo's also in AAA. And this is my thing. He's not going to come up to the MLB this year.
Nope.
He's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes all of next year without coming up to the MLB, because he's 20. He's a kid still. He's still got to get used to it.
Yeah. It's all according to what they, like I said, like you said, what they do with McCann. Yeah. Who's your player of the week last week?
Did you just pay attention to
Yeah,
what I wrote
I
down?
just saw what you wrote. That's funny.
Yeah. Cody mentioned it earlier. So this week was so bad. I don't know if you noticed when he was going through the box scores that we scored 3 runs in one series against the Rays.
Yep.
And it's not like the Rays of like 4 years ago when their pitchers were they had the best pitchers on planet Earth. So Cal Ripken's my player of the week for being Mr. Splash for a day.
That's funny. Well,
Yeah, that's the best I got for you.
All right. Well, my player of the week is Gunnar
Well,
Henderson.
And I couldn't take Gunnar because you already took him. I obviously would have done Gunnar.
I got you.
Obviously, he's the only one that did good this week.
You're absolutely
he
right.
was our offense.
Gunnar, his batting average for the week was a 417. He had 2 home runs, 2 RBIs because nobody's getting on base in front of him. Like I said, he had 10 hits in his 24 at bats with 2 doubles, only 6 strikeouts. Really great. He had 2 stolen bases. He was your Orioles of the week. You know what I mean? The entire Orioles.
The American Player of the Week.
Yeah, he is American League Player.
Yeah, I mean he did great.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Before we move on, I want to kind of go through some recent transactions, some updates on our injured players and stuff like that.
All right, let's do it.
Just to make us maybe feel better. So
I doubt it. I doubt I'm going to feel a lot better.
Heston Kjerstad's back. He's on a rehab assignment with Ironbirds.
I do feel better about that.
See, that makes. And then we re-signed Terran Vavra after DFAing him.
Okay.
Which he's a guy that I like to have in the organization because he can kind of play everywhere. He's a good guy to. If we hadn't DFA'd him already, just because we had to send him down, I think he could be on the team now. Like you could see him come up at some point this season. I think even at then. And then here's some updates. I'll go back for a couple days. So on September 6th, it was reported that Ramon Arias is progressing, and he said he's confident that he'll play again by the end of the season. That's good news.
Yeah.
Danny Coulomb had a AAA rehabs. Was it Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll pitch on Wednesday. So that's 2 days from now, as of Monday night. My days are all mixed up.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Yep.
And then, like I said, Kjerstad, he's going to be back. He went 2 for 5 on Saturday with a walk and a run. So that's good.
Yep.
Westberg's been spotted fielding grounders. So that's a good sign.
Yep.
Mountcastle will return soon.
Yeah, before
we don't know when, but soon it seems like. And Rodriguez could face hitters at some point this week.
So here's something positive, I guess. All right. So would you say this is what I think? I think last year they worked their butt off to win the division, which is what we hope happens this year. But everybody was playing like every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like we were really blessed to not be injured very much, right? Except for Felix, obviously. This year we're gonna go into the playoffs with guys with what? I don't know, 20% of our roster who hasn't played in 3 months. Not really. That might be an exaggeration, 3 months, but not the 20%. The 20. So, I mean, you're going to have, like, Grayson, you got to expect, maybe, hopefully not rusty. Hopefully it's fresh and not rusty, right?
Well, if I had to assume, especially the pitchers, they're going to try to get them in it all depends, I think, where we are. Because if it's like last week of the season and going out to that Yankees series, if it seems like maybe after that for the last 3 game set of the year, if we're the division's done, it's not ours, and we've solidified the number 1 wild card spot though. I think you see they instead of having rehab stuff, they just bring everyone up.
Yeah,
like Grayson, that he can make a start right before the playoffs, something like that. But this is also my thing. I know we have a lot of hurt people, but there's one positive way to look at it. We cannot possibly do worse in the playoffs than we did last year.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't lose more games.
You can't lose. We lost the same amount.
You can't. The only way you lose more games is if we win games. Yeah. Make it to another series.
You're right.
So I don't like. This is my thing. I know people say that sometimes, you win the division, you don't do good, but I don't know if it really matters anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. It's just when we started this podcast back in February, if I would have said, "Hey, Elijah, will you take 89 wins and make the playoffs, but you're going to be a wild card. Will you take it?" You say, "Yep."
No.
Yeah, you would take it.
Obviously I'd take it, but I'd be unhappy with it.
Yeah, I mean, it
Whereas
is.
I'm okay. I've come to terms with our season this year.
But okay, so if I said, all right, at the beginning in February, if I said, Elijah, we're going to not have Westberg, Mountcastle, Mullins for a little while. You're not going to have your best pitcher that you traded for, except for Cole, Corbin. I mean,
Corbin.
you're gonna not have like maybe five pieces of your bullpen.
Well,
you have 4 pieces of your starting rotation.
And the starters, they're not just done for a little bit. They're
done.
Season and most of next year too.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah. And you can just keep going. You see where I'm going. And I said, but you still make the playoffs. You go, there's no chance we make the playoffs.
Yeah. No, that's where I'm at. Where I feel like at this point it's what could have been.
Yeah, I know.
Because we are 1.5 games behind the Yankees, who have 2 top 5 MVP candidate finishers on their roster. And they really only have 1 or 2 bad spots on their roster, and not other than Garrett Cole, which I understand. Garrett Cole, he's an individual injury bigger than any injury we've had all year,
right?
Easily. But other than him, they've been relatively healthy. Giancarlo got hurt, but I'd put that on par with, okay, say that's Westbrook, which Westbrook's better, but still. If you said we were still on pace with them, I wouldn't know how, and I don't know how we are with how we've played. I feel like every week we get on here and talk about how we've been doing bad and we're losing, but then here we are. I don't understand how it's possible.
I agree. Well, jumping in, so we did a little bit of predictions today of how we feel the season's going to end, stats wise or standings wise. So I'll give mine really quick. I think we win. So what's the standings right now, Elijah? Do you have that pulled up?
Right now we are 82-63.
Okay, 82.
1.5 games behind the Yankees.
82-63. I think we finish 89-73. I think that we will only win one more series, not sweep, just win one more series. I think we win the series against the New York Yankees on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're not going to all 3 of those games. Just pick 2. That's what I think. I think they'll come out ready to play against one of them, and I think the Yankees are struggling just like us. That gives me a chance. I don't have a ton of. I don't know if you can hear it in your background, but I got a train going right by my place right here. So I'm sorry, but can't really do much about a train. But anyway, but yeah. So I don't think we win a series against the Tigers. We play them twice. They're hot right now. They're crazy hot. The Giants, we could, but I just don't feel it. So we're going to say we win 1 out of those 3. And then we play the Tigers again. But the Twins could be another one at the end of the season. I just didn't want to say that we sweep them because if we're out of the division, I don't think we play everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely could see that. Yeah, like they just kind of play Levon Soto.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, and I had us at 91-71, which is just 2 more wins. But really, when you look at it, 2 more wins than what you gave us is us winning more series than we lose for the rest of it. This is how I have it though. Red Sox, we win 1 game this series if we're lucky. This looked terrible tonight. I think I think we'll win a series against the Tigers and we'll win the series against the Yankees too. I definitely think that. Maybe I don't think we'll pull off 2 series against the Tigers, and I think we could maybe beat the Twins. I'll say here first, we're getting swept by the Giants. We're not going to do good against the Giants. The Tigers are hot. The Giants are hot.
Yeah.
It's not good. Especially, it'll be our luck. We'll go up against their 3 best pitchers, something like that. Logan Webb's going to throw a no-hitter or something. It's just
Webb and Snell.
Webb and Snell. It's just, I don't know. It's going to be hot and cold somehow. We'll get swept by the Giants. We'll probably go back-to-back series getting swept by the Giants and Tigers and then sweep the Yankees or something stupid like that.
Yeah, so like I said, that's our predictions. I mean, like I said, 89 wins, 73, or your 91 wins, 71. Isn't very far off of that 2014 best years of Orioles baseball. Not best years for you. My best years is like 1997 to 99 for me. You know what I mean? Like the Brady Anderson era.
You know what the problem with all of those seasons are?
We still never won a World Series, do we?
Nope.
Or make it to the World Series. So I gotta love that.
Nope.
So that's the one.
Did you see either? Did any of those teams even make it to the championship series?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen one.
I was 7 years old, but I played wiffle ball like them. You know what I mean? And I played.
So you lost.
But yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, we have high hopes. We're a young
Yeah.
team. I have high hopes for this year. I have high hopes for next year.
Yeah.
I have high hopes for the year after.
I'll end it on one good thing real
All
quick.
right, give me a good thing. Let's end.
So Katie Griggs is the Orioles' new president of business ops, and
I'm really excited about that. Really.
Did you see what I'm talking about? She
No.
said there's going to be possible changes to Camden Yards in 2025, such as the video board and sound system.
Thank God.
She sat in 16 locations across the stadium and trying to get a feel of the stadium fan base and everything. And more upgrades are coming, but they'll just take longer.
Yeah, I could not be more excited with that move on getting her. She was with the Mariners, I believe, prior. So she did a lot for them. But yeah, so really excited for that. Really excited to get our Camden Yards like more modern. Not modern to where it's not classic. I like that. But modern to where I can hear what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Real.
So, and the video board that needs. Well, I don't need a new video board. I just need all of the stuff that's not digital to be digital. That's what I need. I don't need an advertisement banner that stays there the whole year because we can't change it. I don't like that. But anyway, so you got anything else for us, Elijah, before you sign off?
No, I'm just gonna say that you were right. She did used to work for the Mariners. Good job.
Boom.
She also used to work for Warner Brothers.
What? Oh, really? So she might bring like the Animaniacs to
maybe
Camden
Bugs
Yards.
Bunny.
That's not that. I guess Warner.
Yeah, it is.
WB. My bad.
Yeah, it is your bad.
All right, guys. Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us on another episode here on the Utah Street Banner. We pray and hope that next week we are way more positive and have way more better news to talk about. Good news is we are still on our way to we're on a playoff run, so we be excited about that, right? And but make sure you follow us, like us on we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on X, subscribe on YouTube, and we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify like always. But until next week, I'm Cody, this is Elijah. Thank you guys.
See ya.